It is off season. That means it's ranking season, baby. So now we're going to take a look at where Mike Zimmer stacks up in the pantheon of Minnesota Fighting Vikings head coaches. Now, they're listed in chronological order. Really good at talking today. 2001, the chronological. And so Norm Van Brocklin's obviously not number one. I think he's going to find his way down towards the bottom. But we wanted to go through and see how Mike Zimmer stacks up. So he's 64, 47, and 1, has a 576 winning percentage, which is third all time in Vikings franchise history, behind Bug Grant and the late great Denny Green. And then you get into the playoffs. Zimmer is 2-3 in the playoffs. Would have been 3-2, or probably even better, or if Blair Walsh had made a 27-yard field goal, but it's whatever. Division titles. So Zimmer has 2 division titles in 7 seasons. He has 1 NFC title game appearance, of course, in 2017, and 0 Super Bowls. And you go through the NFC title games. Well, technically it's 3, because 1969 was the NFL champion. That's right. The year before the merger, the Vikings are the reigning, defending, undefeated, undisputed NFL champions of the world. Pretty amazing. But 4 Super Bowls, and then goose eggs. And, of course, goose eggs for everyone else. Jerry Burns went to the 87 NFC title game. Denny Green, 98, as well as 2000. People forget about 41 Donut. Chili, 09. And then not great. Just really not great from there. So let's start going through. So, obviously, Bug Grant is going to be 1. So we'll move him up. We will bump down Norm Van Brocklin. He might be near the bottom eventually. But Bug Grant is 1. Now, the question is Zimmer 2 or is he 3? I think I'm going to put Denny Green at 2, where I think Denny Green was underrated, underappreciated for a number of years, but Denny suffered from a lot of the Zimmer fatigue, right? Where can he get to the next level? Like, can Denny Green take the Vikings to a Super Bowl? But also remember, Denny only had 1 losing season during his time with the Vikings, and that was his final year before he, fired, parted ways consciously uncoupled. Yeah, so Denny, I think, was underrated, but they just never really got together in the big games. Of course, that's a knock against Zimmer as well. But I think you firmly put Zimmer at 3. Yeah, Les Steckel, get the hell out of here. Or, what about Jerry Burns? So put Jerry Burns at 4 for now, but it is pretty close. It is close. So Jerry only won the division once. Zimmer's won it twice. They both went to 1 NFC title game. But Jerry Burns is underrated, where Les Steckel came in for 1 season after Bug Grant retired, and he was an absolute train wreck. It wasn't going to work out. And then Bug Grant came back for a season, and then Jerry Burns took over. It should have been Jerry Burns' ship in the first place, but that's whatever. But yeah, we're going to put Les Steckel down at 9. It just was not good at all. And now we're debating, where does Tice, Chili, and Frazier stack up? So Tice was not a good head coach, but also he wasn't as terrible as it was made out to be. I think he suffered from a front office that was not very good at evaluating talent, ownership, and Red McCombs that didn't want to spend a lot of money. But Tice did the best he could given the circumstances. Now, if you had switched eras between Mike Tice and Brad Childress, I think Tice would have done better. I do. And, of course, he's a coach's coach, player's coach all the way through. So do we put him at 5, though? I don't know. You kind of have to put Brad Childress at 5, right? Even though he was arrogant, even though he was very short with the media, and even though he was kind of full of himself, kick-ass offense, he did have a winning record. He did go to the NFC title game. He did win 2 division titles. So I guess Mike Tice at 6 is fine. Leslie Frazier. So I like Leslie Frazier, and you see his defensive acumen in Buffalo now. Him and Sean McDermott have a great defense going on with the Bills, but I wanted Leslie to succeed. Now, Leslie took over in 2010 after Chili was fired. He eventually got the full-time gig for 3 seasons, won 1 division title. Or not 1 division title, 1 playoff appearance, because they went to the wild card 2012 when Adrian won the MVP. And then that was the year where Christian Ponder had like a bruised bicep, and he was out of the wild card game at Lambeau against the Packers, and it was jumping Joe Webb time. And we're like, whoo, the Packers have never seen Joe Webb. And then it was not good. It was just not good. So I guess we'll put Norm Van Brocklin at 8. Yeah, the first head coach of the Vikings. It was really no bueno there. Oh, ironically, and this wasn't even intentional, we just lined them up by winning percentage, which is kind of funny. But, I mean, where could you debate? I guess maybe you could debate Jerry Burns ahead of Zimmer. Maybe you could debate Zimmer ahead of Denny, even though I think Denny's pretty comfortably ahead of Zimmer for the time being. Now, of course, if Zimmer goes to a Super Bowl or goes back to another NFC title game minimum, then we could talk, right? Or if he wins the division again, or if he actually strings together 2 winning seasons. What a novel concept. I know. Or he could talk about, well, Childress and Tice. I think Tice got a bad rap. Bit of a meathead, bit of an offensive line guy, sure, but like everything around him was just not great. It was just not great. But I mean, personally, I would put Tice ahead of Childress, but you know, it'd be what it be. You can't ignore the fact that Tice did not win the division and Childress won it twice. And then Leslie Frazier at 7, Van Brocklin down at 0, and then Les Steckel. Yeah, gone. He gone. But, yeah, Zimmer right now is 3. Could easily move up. But what are your thoughts on our thoughts? Where does Mike Zimmer rank in the pantheon of all-time Vikings coaches? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.